Heartbreaking moment. Women realize men are right. Being single women in their 40s, 40 plus. Mature, isn't it?
Ladies in your 40s or 50s, or any age, honestly, do you ever feel good? I'm not even saying great. Do you ever feel just good? Like you wake up and you're like, oh, I feel good today. Like, do you ever feel that way? I'm just curious because I can't seem to get there. And I'm eating clean, exercising, taking lots of supplements, and it evades me.
Now that is sad. Lovely woman.
Do you ever feel good?
Well, let's use it as an example. Many dating men of this age dating. Some men in their 40s, 50 dating. I made a point recently about being content in your life, being happy in yourself at least. And if you're content in your life, you're happy within yourself, or your life is good, when you're dating, it's important the people you're talking to, you're dating, you're courting's agent, no one's courting. But you get the point. It's important that they at least feel good about themselves.
Do you ever feel good?
Now, if we're using this woman and many other women as examples, how difficult would it be for a man to date a woman or women that aren't happy in their life, aren't happy with where they've got to in life? 40, 50 plus. But it's like, what has she done or hasn't done to make her feel so unfulfilled in her own life? I hope you're focused and on your square. And as a man, you going in, what benefit are you going to get from this woman? Something you both can build? Or are you just going to get an opportunity to try to heal and help someone?
Do you ever feel good?
Which that's not fun, is it? It doesn't sound appealing.
It evades me. It's my goal. Do you ever feel good? Please tell me if you do. And if you do, what are you doing to make you feel good?
Sadly, at this age, a lot of people are doing drugs and alcohol. They're single, so they're not doing each other. But drugs and alcohol, some say it numbs the pain of debt.
If you're over 40 and single, so one of the biggest struggles that I've heard from men who are over 40 and dating is this. You are jaded. So you're still hurt from your divorce. You're still hurt from your breakup. Or maybe you're burnt out from those dating apps. You feel like women are puzzles. We don't have the energy anymore to try to solve them. I get it. After failed relationships, failed dates, paying for failed dinners, you're just burnt out. You're feeling more hopeless than ever. You're asking yourself, what would it take to finally meet a good woman? What would it take to finally meet my soulmate? I'm going to tell you bluntly, as both a registered psychotherapist and a relationship coach,
And before she continues with her advice, this is something a lot of men understand. It's not even in a bad way. It's simple time. It's simple time. It's not saying, oh yeah, all these 40 plus women they're miserable and jaded. They're sad. They're post-divorce women, single mothers, whatnot, and so on and so forth. You see, even as a man, not even to say it in a bad way, by 40, a lot of women have been through a lot. So the stress alone in even talking to these women it's high. It's going to be high. And even if they're not jaded, they're not scarred and burnt by their past and their ex-boyfriends and divorces and whatever. For some women at this age, they could radiate desperation. She could be desperate. Yes, many things have happened before. And now she's hoping a new man, you possibly the new man, can right the wrongs of her past.
Do you ever feel good?
Yeah. Correct the mistake she's made. Be the light at the end of her tunnel, of her age or whatever. So the point is, men dating women at this age, some men get too much pressure put on them when they're just trying to meet someone. Yes, a lot of single bachelors nowadays, but the ones who are trying to meet women, they come across a gauntlet almost, a damn gauntlet, an obstacle course of woman, her past, her traumas, her histories, the lies and truths of her timeline. They have to navigate all of this just to get to know the woman. And in the end, by that point, a lot of men are burnt out. They're too burnt out to even want to get to know the woman properly. It's like, woman, I'm tired. For as lovely as you are, getting to know you, damn, that in itself seems more tiring, almost exhausting in communicating, in just trying to get to know her.
Coach, number one mistake that men make is they bring this heaviness and this resentment on a date. So I see this cycle time and time and time again, and it just leads to even more ghosting or even more failed dating. This cycle isn't going to end if you don't learn how to break it. You need to start by learning what is holding you back from feeling excited, candid, and present in finding love.
Yes, but for everything you've just said, a lot of men bring caution to the dates as well. You see, men being cautious is a part of modern dating for men. Men that are dating, they are very, very cautious.
As we should.
Because a lot of men that are dating, they have been burnt and scarred before. They have been used before, possibly. They have been used for dates, possibly. They've been breadcrumbed, gaslit, basically had their time abused by women they're interested in. So yeah, we get it. It's wrong for men to bring their baggage to a date, obviously trying to get to know a woman. However, you can't blame men for being cautious. Who made them cautious? who made them hesitant. Because sadly, it's even sad to say this, as a man in your 40s, if you're dating women in their 40s, it's a case of, well, who's going to lose? Who could lose? Who is losing right now? There's no guarantee, but I mean, there is desperation at that age, isn't there? Sometimes a lot of it.
See this cycle time and time and time again, and it just leads to even more ghosting or even more failed dating. This cycle isn't going to end if you don't learn how to break it. You need to start by learning what is holding you back from feeling excited, candid, and present in finding love.
Could be heartbreak.
This is one for the single ladies. Not seen me before, my name is Becky, I'm 40 and I'm single. In the last 10 years, I have been through a divorce, I've become a single parent, and I've had three breakups. So I can definitely speak from experience. Now, if you are recently single, if you are going through a breakup at the moment, if you are feeling pretty crappy, do you ever feel good? I'm going to help you get through this. I'm going to take this a day at a time. First of all, here is what we're not going to do. We are not going to wallow.
I mean, sadly, that is easier said than done, isn't it? I mean, even as men, we can see ourselves with our own eyes. A lot of women at this age bracket, they're not happy. They're not content in their own lives. They're similar to you, possibly 1 or 2 divorces, some kids, possibly. And a lot of men are, in a rush to be a stepdad. Daddy. Yeah. So it's like saying with experience comes age. With age comes baggage. With age comes trauma. And a lot of the time, that trauma becomes part of personality. So as men, we can see ourselves, a lot of women, 40 plus, pampering and prettying themselves up, hitting the gym even, and everything. And that's all nice, it's beautiful, it's sweet. However, it comes down to one of the key things that turn men off nowadays, one of the prime things that turn men off, her attitude, the way she is. Now, because at this point in her life, she may have been through a lot, more than likely, with a decent amount of men, more than likely. It's like, yeah, some women already have preconceived notions of how you may be, how you are. And simply because of that, it may cause her to act accordingly, act as if she knows you already, act as if she knows what sort of man you are.
Do you ever feel good?
Because whereas some men may meet a lovely woman at this age bracket, a lot of men feel as if they're going to have to pick up those small pieces of her past, and possibly walk on eggshells just to be around her. So in other words, the vibes are clean up. Sort of have to clean up, a sort of clean up man. Yeah? See, it falls naturally into place. Even if you don't want to be, you're not trying to be, you're not that sort of man. In a lot of these cases, a lot of men end up becoming clean up men. Even if her kids are grown, the fragments of her past may still be, crumbling behind her. So when you apply to be with her, make sure you bring a dustpan and brush. Not always accurate, but I'm saying, come on.
We are not going to message said boy. We're not going to stalk his Instagram. We are not going to feel like we're never going to meet anybody else. Instead, we are going to use this time to better ourselves. We're going to use this time to have the glow up of our freaking lives. The first thing we're going to do is write a list. If you're on this journey with me, give me a follow, because part 1 is going to be exactly what needs to go on this list.
Nothing rude to this woman at all, but I mean, sometimes it does seem like cap, doesn't it? It does seem like covering it up.
Do you ever feel good?
Does seem like pretending the past didn't happen. I mean, that's all well and good. You can put makeup on to hide the pain, cover up the scars. But it's when a man gets to know you and that makeup is washed off that, yeah, he can still see the scars, and he will.
Follow, drop me a comment if you're on this journey with me, if you're somebody who needs a bit of this at the moment. This is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. Trust me. And we're going to do this day by day. I've got you.
Sadly, it sounds like something you said before.
Men go through their own life stages. Men. I'm not talking about boys. Because you have some men that are 40 years old and they should already be in the king stage. King stage means that he's already financially stable. He's already at a place where he has built his home, or he is ready to build his home. He is ready to get married. This is the reason why I say if a man is 40 and over and he's not married, he's a no man. Okay?
Okay, interesting. I want to use this part here to make a point. Expectations. Expectations. Look, every man at that age has not achieved and reached where she's saying. Every man hasn't. Sadly, for a lot of men, they did achieve. However, through their relationships and possibly marriage, they lost everything. So some men are having to reset at 40. They're just getting back on their feet at 40. So here's another point about being a man at 40, if you're looking to date. The expectations of you as a man. We all fully understand as men, no one's coming to save us. No one. We have to do everything ourselves. And it does benefit you as a man nowadays to be fully self-sufficient. Fully, completely. However, the expectations of women nowadays is so ridiculously high. It's ridiculously high. And it's a standard fact that a lot of women expect you to have more than them. So think about this. There are a lot of men who lost everything they had to a woman they tried to give everything to. A previous marriage, their ex-wife. They've already lost everything once or twice already. And now they have these high expectations on them to be that man again for a new woman, when it's like, yo, woman, my previous woman that I loved and cared for, she took everything from me. And now I'm a husk of a man trying to, at least fill myself up again. My ribs are touching, but I'm trying to be a man again. So the reality is, for a lot of women in their 40s dating, they will come across a lot of men who, you can say a lot of them are jaded. A lot of them are probably miserable and scarred. But the kicker is, a lot of those men are scarred from their previous relationships. Their ex-wives have burnt them and probably still are burning them till this day. So if men have to be understandable in women's past baggage, women should also be understandable in understanding, yeah, a lot of men have been through a lot. A lot of men have been battered so much that the fact they're still dating and want to date is impressive. The fact they haven't given up is impressive. Am I saying women should be humble and grateful that men are even talking to them at that age? No, I'm not saying that. I mean, to a degree you can. Because for a lot of men, they left the dating pool and we're never going to go back. So for all the pampering women want to do at this age,
Do you ever feel good?
If a man has the option to date a younger woman with less baggage, he would. He will. And you can't blame him. It's life.
Bam, okay? 9 times out of 10, there's always exceptions, okay? But I'm talking about it as a general rule. If a man is 40 and over, and he is not seriously dating somebody with the intentions of marrying her, he just been jumping from one relationship to another, he's damaged goods.
Just like a woman.
Okay, but that is another heavy expectation put on men, as if every man in their 40s plus want to get married, especially if they've been so before. And that's where the desperation from women comes in. It's like, yeah, look, the expectations of him at his 40s to be achieved and everything, and want marriage, it's like, that's why a lot of men feel a lot of women, they come across desperate. They feel desperate. It's like, woman, your vibes are desperate.
Do you ever feel good?
Yeah, so it's like that. It's like an eagerness to secure something because you feel as if time's running out. That's what a lot of men come across. Women that are so desperate and eager that you as a man may not even matter, so long as you're a man that fits her wants and needs. Where as a man, it makes you feel as if you don't matter. You're just numbers to her. It doesn't feel like you're important. It just feels like time's running out for her. Therefore, she wants to cling on to a man to secure something because her time's running out. So yeah, a lot of men admittedly are damaged goods. But the expectation put on them by women at this age bracket is like, But a younger chick, a younger woman, she may not be ready to get married yet. She may just want to, hey, see how things go.
Damaged goods. Emotionally stagnant. He's stuck in the childish night stage.
Childish. Interesting. You can still come across women in their 40s going through their whole phases. I mean, that's childish, isn't it?
Okay, I am a 42-year-old woman living in my mom's attic, and I just made the cutest little kitchen. It has a little tiny fridge, my cabinet for my van I used to live in, my oven that has an air fryer. You can literally make a whole turkey in there, and then my slow cooker right here, as well as some cabinetry. Oh, and check out this sick wallpaper. So this is where I have all my clothes and my little rocking chair. This is my Granny Annie era.
Do you ever feel good?
Granny.
Single woman in her 40s living in her mother's attic. Yeah, sort of cliche, isn't it? The opposite, like a man in his 40s living in his mother's basement? It's a sort of opposite sort of thing, isn't it? It's weird. But to shame her. Are we going to shame her? We're going to take the piss? Oh, look at you, woman, you haven't found a man.
Granny.
So now you're living in your mom's attic? We're going to shame her. Make her feel bad about herself. Here we come to why these points are very different. Like the previous woman said, the expectations of a man to have achieved so much by 40. So in this world of modern independent women, what is her excuse? I mean, we understand that the economy, things are very expensive and difficult nowadays. So her living back with her mom makes perfect financial sense. Yeah? However, men aren't granted the same luxury, same understanding. Are we? Are you as men? No. This is where part of the BS is. Because whereas a lot of men don't even care, like, all right, woman, somehow you didn't find a man or anything and now you're living in your mom's attic. All right, whatever. That's the way your life went. But for a man at that age to be living at home in a basement or attic, he would be seen as a failure of a man. And he may not have failed. A lot of men have had to move back home because of a divorce, because a relationship got wrecked, and now they're possibly paying alimony and child support for a very long time. They can't afford to get back on their feet. So here in dating is a big point, and why women don't understand when men date younger, and why wouldn't they? For everything being said, women are still granted certain luxuries that men are not granted. If as a man you ever fall off your white horse, you'd be seen as a failure by everybody. So it's not that this woman is undateable, no, it's far from it. But if men in their 40s have the option, they can pick and choose. They do want to date. What benefit would this woman be to him? Suppose he does have his own place and car and everything. What benefit would she be to him? When he can easily get a woman who's 10 years younger, 15 years younger, and actually have a possibility of a future. I'm not saying this woman can't provide a future, but I mean, come on.
Do you ever feel good?
If that man wants kids, I mean, there's not much you're going to get from a woman who lives in her mother's attic at 40. I'm just saying.
This is my daughter, Charlie.
Of course.
My other daughter, Emily. This is my bed, actually beds. The reason why I have two is because I want to have guests and maybe my nieces come over.
Madness. Oh, nice.
I know my Christmas decor is still up. Don't judge me. It's almost the end of January, but guess what? It's cozy. I like the lights. I like the smell of pine. I'm going to take it down, I promise. Oh, and I have a projector so I can watch Sex and the City from bed whenever I feel like it.
Of course, Sex and the City, why not? Why not? Carrie Bradshaw being the ultimate icon.
Propaganda tool.
For many millennial women. Yeah, and I've said it before, she's to blame. Carrie Bradshaw and that damn show is to blame for why a lot of women nowadays, millennial women, are single, childless, and or manless. It's because of Carrie.
From bed whenever I feel like it. This is Charlie and Emily's room that they share right now. One day they'll actually get their own rooms where mommy's rich, but right now they're just gonna have to share. So that's the tour. It's small, I know. Am I dating? No. Do I plan on dating? No. Am I making Marry Me chicken for myself right now? In my little slow cooker? Yeah.
Do you ever feel good?
Oh, that's cute. Doesn't mean making it a man's gonna come and want to marry you though. But yeah, that's cute. Keep making that chicken.
My little slow cooker? Yeah.
You ever meet somebody and wonder why they're single? Cut to a week later, you find out why they're single.
Why?
Rinse and repeat. That's basically dating in your 40s. We all single for a reason, guys.
I mean, at this age, a lot of things just feel like rinse and repeat, isn't it? A lot of things are rinse and repeat. It's like, I've done this before. I've done this dance before. The talking stage, the texting stage, whatever, man. At this point in your life, a lot of men and women, you've done it all before. It's like you've done everybody before at this point, but it's exhausting. It's tiring, isn't it? As well as it being frustrating as well, it's just like, oh my God. But in that thought that both men and women have is why a lot of people would just settle. They've literally given up. And they would just settle, which is good for some, but nobody wants to be the person another person settled for. Yeah, I mean that's not going to make you feel good about yourself, is it? But yeah, everyone's burnt out, rinse and repeat. It's like sad memories and overused body parts.
Guys, we all single for a reason, guys.
Here were two insanely hot girls in my high school. They were 10 out of 10s, and they had completely different life situations. The first girl, she got knocked up by a guy in our class who everyone knew was an idiot, but he had a really cool truck.
Hey.
She started doing meth with him. He died. She got fat somehow, and now I still see her on Facebook. She doesn't look great anymore.
Damn.
The other girl, she graduated, started working downtown as one of those, cocktail girls at the club with the sign and the sparklers, and they do a little dance, and it says happy birthday, one of those girls. Meets a billionaire. The billionaire flies around the world. They're going to fancy restaurants, yacht clubs. They got married, have kids. They look super happy, and she's still crazy hot. And the point of this is that if you are a girl, it's important that you recognize how hot you are and that you need to hold out, not for a guy that's going to make your day, but a guy that's going to make your life, because you might be that attractive.
Bingo.
Exactly. Very good point as a man. And it's something a lot of men understand because a lot of men have seen this. A lot of men have seen very, very good looking women, lovely women, amazing women at whatever levels. They've seen those women make poor choices in men and ruin their lives, wreck their lives. Obviously, like he's saying, you see the odd few one who, she picks better. She makes a good decision and choice in life. But it's far too often a lot of men see very good looking, well put together women jump out the window with their looks. Make the worst choices with their looks, the worst choices in men and life with their looks, burning out their potential with their looks. That's not saying because, a man wants to lock her down and put babies in her. It's not even just that case. But like this man saying, a lot of women do burn out their best years. they do evaporate their potential. And by the time they reach 40,
do you ever feel good?
If she made bad choices and decisions, she's going to end up a methed up single mom. That's not good. It's not good. Of course, it doesn't happen all the time. Of course not. But that's a possibility. Because every man isn't a billionaire. Of course not. And every woman isn't going to meet a billionaire. Of course not. However, it's far too often many men have seen women in life choose poorly and wrongly, then blame the world, blame men for their poor mistakes and their poor choices. When it's like, woman, you looks good enough at one point in your life to pull a millionaire.
Damn right.
Some of them even a billionaire. But you ended up getting ran through by a lot of what? Bummy, weird, random dudes, and now you're a bitter, jaded, 40-plus-year-old woman. I mean, compared to your friend over there, she did good, didn't she? I guess she was smarter than you, but I mean, yeah, it's something a lot of men have seen constantly.
Because you might be that attractive. But for the guys, if you're an idiot and you got nothing going on for you, dude, finance that truck, because before you get Darwined out of this life, you might get some crazy
And yeah, for a lot of men, that works in your favor, yeah.
You might get some crazy tail.
But lots of times women do burn out their best years with their best options. But as always for men, we have to work hard to become a damn good, if not decent, option. The world is yours. Have a nice day.
Do you ever feel good?